Okay, I'm doing the light test right now. I want to be sure that the cable works and all the connectors work before I put all this together. Okay, there you have it. Everything is buttoned back. We have our stiffeners or braces in there. We're ready for the slots on the fender and to line up with these. We've got our pull cord for the light cord to connect. We're ready for the fender. That's the next project. This concludes this particular segment. Now folks, if you forget to tighten up the fuel tank strap like I did, you can take one side loose, and if you get the wrench in this position, you can tighten it up. Okay, this is where the rubber meets the road. First, we're getting ready to mount the final mount of the fender. Everything we've done up to this point has been prepped to put these 3 bolts coming through, which are our supports, and also we've changed the bolts down below. So just wanted to point out something I think will be helpful for trying to get that wire for the light through this hole, is to run you a stiff wire through like a fish tape and have it over the edge, so that when we do mount the fender and you need to pull the wire through, you can just wrap this around and then just pull it right on through. Whatever you come up with will work. This is just my little idea. Now, here's another crucial point. The alignment of the rear is not exactly in line with the vehicle frame arrangement. It's slightly off a little bit. So we need to prepare for that. And this is very important. Okay, we're going to put 2 spacer washers in this one. We're going to put 1 spacer washer in this location and no spacers behind that. That's a plastic washer there. Whoop. Okay, yeah. We're going to put this one in first down here just for a few turns. Okay, and we're going to push these spacer washers, we're going to push them all the way up to that point, so that when we put our fender slot down, we want the spacer washers up against the back sloping panel. Same way with the middle lower bolt. Put him in. You don't have to have this too far. Now push that all the way up there, and this all the way back. So we have 2 spacer washers there, 1 there, and none over here. Like that. 2, 1, 0 spacers. We want, in the same line, we want 2 spacers here. And this is a slope, and washers aren't going to want to stay up there. So I'm going to show you how we're going to solve that problem. Any kind of mounting putty is great. Comes in this little tacky stuff. We use it all the time for sticking things up on the wall. But you get you a little fresh area here. Just all you need, just a little piece. Take 1 washer, and just kind of stick a little bit of this kind of around it, kind of something like that, so that it's on both sides. All you need is a little piece like that, and then squeeze this down tight. Then pop this baby right on. Voila. You see? And we're going to put, that's all we needed is 2, 2, 1, and 1 up here. So we're going to take another piece and do the same thing there. And you just slide that on there and push up hard. You'll never see it, and it will stay there. We don't need any here. We got 0, 0. Now we're going to solve another little problem. These washers, when you're trying to put the slots through 3 bolts, sometimes you push these things and misalign. I'm going to try and put some of the mounting putty behind here, and I'm going to put it right on over so that it's like that to hold that in place. We're going to do that for all 3, and later we can pull it off when we need to. Now we're ready to mount the fender in its final position. We have our bolts all conditioned, our washers the correct quantity, and we've got them spaced properly to have the slots to mount behind the plastic washer and in front of the spacing washers. And we have our fish wire. Now we want to take this end, and we're going to wrap this around and then feeding, and look at there. So going low, I'm going to push this all the way as far as I can and try to line up on that first bolt. And I know that the spacer washers should be back there because I don't see them here. So now we're going to line up with the 3 brace bracket bolts. Now this is going to take, also remember to pull the slack out of this carefully, just enough, and as we go up we're going to try. Now you have to kind of look and line up. These will move around a little bit, so feel the hole, the back of the hole with your finger, and you also have to do the other side, but we can do kind of one side. Oh, the other one went in. Now let's go underneath and look. Ah, see over there, he's in. There. Again, pull your wire a little bit, look down and make sure that you can even push to make sure that it's going to go straight in. You can kind of see the wire. Now you can see that all we got is the center one, and it's almost there. I just have to push and wiggling back and forth will do it. And my wire is good. Okay, and I'm good. Probably yelling in your ear, but okay. Now we got to get that. Everything is good. Okay, you're going to have to push a little hard to get them all the way through, and then make sure your wire is pulled through, and then look down in the back. Now I can let go of this because it's pretty well tight on there. Now let's look and see how close we are. Yes, look. See my fingerprints? Wish I'd have put the gloves on earlier. So you might want to do that. There's our wire right through the hole. Perfect. Here we go. Now, before I go any further, I'm going to test the wire. Test the wiring and make sure that my lights all work. This is important because you don't want to get this all buttoned up and find out that there's something wrong. We tested the lights earlier, but now I'm going to test it under conditions that it's fully assembled. I just haven't put the screws down tight yet, but that's it. Now, let me get it set up for the test. I'm going to plug the light into the point of entry, and then everything else should come on. So we're coming back. This is be the connection, and you want to look carefully at the wire connector and go into the proper point. This right here is the little clip, and it should go on the clip side. There's a little notch sticking out, so that should go in just like this. I'm not going to push it all the way till it snaps, because I'm going to take it loose here in a minute. Now for the final assembly, we're going to put a washer, then a lock nut, and then the 1/4 inch bolt nut. And we're going to put those on each of the 3 support braces, and we're going to take some of this putty off and tighten down the 3 main bolts down at the bottom tight. Everything's going to be snugged up nice and tight. Now here's where the deep well socket 7/16 will come in handy because of the length of these bolts. So now I am going to tighten the first one, or the topmost, because I've got all 3 of these tight, and I'm going to tighten her up a bit. Okay, she's tight. Now I'm going to snug these down too. This, I'm going to go back and get them. I'm just trying to get it even. Okay. Tight. Okay. There. Everything is tight under here, and we should have our slight little bit of movement over to the right side, looking at it from the back, with the 2 spacers here, 2 here, 1 here, 1 there, none on those. This, and then once it's in both areas, then you can snap it in place. And I'm going to have to get up here. And this side has to snap in. It's not quite. And there. We're almost finished. I am just going to snug these bolts down, lug nuts. Then I'm going to take it down to the Polaris dealer because I don't have a torque wrench, and you'll get the best performance out of your tire wear and everything if it's torqued. Okay? Some people, torquing isn't important, so to me it is. There you have it, the Stealth Fender project completed, and I love the look of it. It just was made for a Fender, and this particular Fender has a nice shape to complement the back end of the Slingshot. So it's a nice little addition, and can't wait to get out on the road and see how she performs. Now, if you'll see, we're just slightly over to the left, and it'd be nice if this were over this way a little bit more. That would be perfect. It's going to require spacers to get it to do that, I believe, and so I'm going to work with that, and I would like for them to come up with a spacer that is like a shim that has a slot in it, so we don't have to take the thing loose, because we have to take it loose in order to add spacers to those bolts. They say that the recommended 2 spacers will usually do the job, but sometimes it doesn't. You have to add more spacers. So